Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to fit the new cluster, but I'm going to do it in two parts. So the first part I'm going to basically show you what you need to do to remove the information from the cluster. Then obviously physically take the cluster out, replace it with the facelift cluster, and then put the information back on. The second video will show you how to do the PATs with the keys. You need two keys for this, so don't go buying yourself a new cluster if you've only got one key. I'm sure if you took it to Ford they'd be able to do it, but I'm pretty sure they'd probably try and charge you for a second key. So fingers crossed it all goes well and works. Now if you're going to do a cluster change, word of warning, the easiest way to do it is to get a cluster of similar mileage, and then you don't have to mess with the mileage. You can only go up in mileage, you cannot go down. That doing it yourself with Forescan. So be warned, if you get a 125,000 mile cluster and your car's only done 70,000 miles, then your mileage is going to show 125,000 because you can't put it down to the 70. So I've done 66,053 miles, but the cluster I got was zeroed by a company called Custo Mods. Now I paid for the cluster to be come as a facelift cluster for my pre-facelift ST. Now what normally happens is once you've installed the cluster, you don't need to do any programming whatsoever. They send you out a special cable, and then what you do is you install some software on your laptop, you plug the cable into your laptop, and they remote access in and do it all for you as part of the package. But there's no content in that because of GDPR I can't show you what they're doing. So I've decided, wrongly or rightly, to have a go myself. So without further ado, I'm going to show you the cable and away we go. So here we have the modified ODB cable. It's just a standard ODB into a USB to plug into your laptop, but it has a switch, and it's so it can work with the CAN system or the CAN bus system, whatever you want to call it. So this needs to be on, plugged in and switched on. Otherwise I can't do the Elmconfig. Retrieval of the information from the cluster. As you can see, I've got pretty low mileage on mine. Not bad for 2006. So get rid of this manky horrible facelift, pre-facelift cluster, and we'll put the new one in. So I'm just going to start Elm up now. Okay, just read the VIN. There we go. It's getting all the other information that we require. Just remember, this is all new to me, as it is as much to most of you watching. So please don't take it for gospel, I may make mistakes. Okay, there you go. It's even got the module type for the ECU. All your other bits and bobs that you need. Right, according to the tutorials, the first thing I need to click on is the heck. I'll find out what that actually means and I'll put it up for you. So, and then I need to click on the configuration. Now this will be what's already turned on the system. So as you can see, you can turn off your seatbelt warning feature so it doesn't chime, or turn it on. Global closure for your windows. You basically, what you're doing is copying what yours already does. And it looks like everything's turned off on mine, so that's lucky, isn't it? So according to this, you just saved page 1 of HEC and page 2 of the settings. Let's see what page 2 is. Transmission steer. Oh, right, okay. That's good. I don't actually need to change and save anything because it's already done. There's nothing on there. Okay, so I've checked anyhow. I've checked all the settings. I don't need to save anything. So the next thing I need to do is to take the cluster out and put the new cluster in. So as you can see, my mileage is 66,053. So first thing we need to do is we need to adjust the steering wheel. Remember, it's all the way under there. So push it down and pull it back. And then so you've dropped the steering wheel, grab this little piece here just below the cluster and pull it back. And then you should see the 2 screws that you need to undo either side. Okay, once the 2 screws are undone, I used some tools, popped it in the top here just to ease the cluster forward. Trim tools are probably the safest option, save you damaging anything. I'm now going to try and take it out. There is obviously the cable that plugs in on the back. That all needs to be undone, and I'll show you a bit more and compare the 2 clusters when I've got it out. So I have to do this off camera. So what you need to do is focus in the clip on the back. You have to push down with one hand in the middle there, grabbing hold of the black thing there, squeeze in, and then it prizes the catch out. There you go. It's that easy. So what we have there is the original cluster. Pretty horrible, to be honest, and a little pokey thing at the bottom. And I'm replacing it with a facelift cluster, which is completely different. Hopefully will improve the look of the car. So there they are, side by side. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do it back in reverse, put the clip back in the new cluster, and then put the cluster back in, screw it in, and then put the fabric back on, the little plastic cover. So there we go, it's fitted in. Now the important bit is, obviously you can see there's 0 miles on the clock, which is something I'm going to be dealing with in a minute, because I will be putting the original mileage back on. It's illegal to try and make out your car has less mileage than it actually has. My mileage is quite low, so it's not too bad. As I said in the previous earlier on in the video, that you have to get a clock that's got less miles on than your car already has, because you can only go up, you can't go down. So just remember that when you're buying a second-hand cluster. There you go. It all switches on. I'm pretty impressed with that. It looks good. I just need to program it all in now. So what we're doing now is we're going back onto Elmconfig to program the clocks in. Okay, that's the end of part 1 for you. Part 2 will be showing you how to do the PATs with the 4Scan software. But for now, I hope you like the new clusters. It does all the fancy stuff now and beeps when the doors open and all sorts of stuff. So I'll see you in the next video.